Hi, this is Josh here from Trek Films, and in this video we're going to talk about my experience of submitting to film festivals.
I see a data, see a job is what it made me. Shit bravery, see it's my slavery.
So submitting to film festivals is a really good thing you could do as a filmmaker. It gets your film seen outside of the sort of just Vimeo, YouTube platforms, and it's an opportunity to network as well and see your film on a screen and different screens and meet other filmmakers and that kind of stuff. So one thing you'll have to kind of get used to the idea of, and something that's quite difficult to deal with as a filmmaker, is the idea of rejection. And that doesn't necessarily mean your film isn't great, it just might mean it's not necessarily fitting within their program, or they had to make a decision, and often length plays a big part. So if your film's quite long, they might choose to put a shorter film in or play 2 short films as opposed to 1 longer short film. But even if you're not submitting to film festivals or necessarily getting the acceptances you want to, film festivals are a great thing to attend. You can see the kind of films that make the cut. You can also meet the filmmakers behind them and get to know the people that run the festival. They're generally a lot of fun to go to. So there's 2 main websites I use to submit to film festivals, but that's Without a Box and Film Freeway. And they're both similar in format. You can build your film together on a little project page, put a little bio about yourself, a bio about the crew, any press links you've got and all that kind of stuff. The one I use most is Film Freeway. I just prefer the way that one works. And some better film festivals I found are on there than Without a Box. So when you're submitting and looking through different film festivals, because there's literally going to be hundreds on there, don't just submit randomly. So don't just pick, okay, here's the first 10, I'll submit my film to all those. That's kind of a waste of money, and you're going to start, that's an easy way to get those rejections. You want to find the most niche film festivals ever. Obviously there's the big ones that everyone talks about, and I'll talk about those in a sec, but think about your film and its uniqueness. So, you know, there's obviously film festivals that play every genre, but there's also film festivals that, you know, are just horror or just sci-fi, or just about a certain topic. Like there is niche sort of, you know, films about dogs, and, you know, film shot entirely on a drone, film shot entirely on an iPhone. There's film festivals submitting to these kind of things. So if you find something that's very unique and that your film can relate to, that means you're competing in a much smaller market in that sense. So you've got more likely to get accepted into one of those than one where everyone is submitting. And that's another thing, there are a lot of free options on there as well with no submission fee. I mean, feel free to submit to these, but again, everyone is submitting to these free film festivals, so that might lower your chance as well. But it's worth doing because it doesn't cost anything. One thing you can do when you submit to any of them is you can add a cover letter on, like you would if you applied for a job. And I think these are important to do. I don't actually know how much difference they make. Some people that run film festivals have said that they do take time to look at those. And when you look at the festival page, you can see the people who are running it. So always open it with them. Don't just put Dear Socialist Madam. Find out what their names are and open it with them, and put anything in the cover letter that you think is unique to that particular festival and doesn't look like a copy and paste job. It's pointless kind of submitting to the big ones. Like obviously there's Cannes and Raindance and Sundance. They're probably the most difficult to get into, and all you're really doing is paying for an A-lister's hotel room. The way to get into those probably isn't even through the means of Without a Box and Film Freeway. You probably have to have a very established actor and some decent production companies supporting it as well. So this is just my experience and sort of process of submitting to film festivals. I appreciate other filmmakers may have a different process or may just sort of not quite do it the same way I do. So if you've heard of any other ways to do it or think that I could be doing it some way better, I would love to know what those are. Okay, thanks. See ya. Bye.
The dangling carrot that hang from the rear view. Your dreams in the past ain't nowhere near you. Backseat drivers got nothing but 2 cents. Shotgun riders too biased, they all liars. I should get an A for